Moreover, let's get into it. Movie piracy. Let's talk about something illegal to start the show today. Movie piracy is exploding. Who could have seen this coming? This was at CinemaCon last week, where the Motion Picture Association, it's a convention that revolves around, the film industry in so many words. And
A lot of
the
theater
motion
chain
picture.
owners go into this thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you have the Motion Picture Association CEO Charles Rivkin, who was there as well. Also, I don't remember when this happened, but it used to be MPAA. It used to be Motion Picture Association of America. But then I started seeing on like trailer previews that it was MPA, and I was like, I don't know when they made the executive decision to drop America from the title, but I don't care. But anyway, Motion Picture Association CEO Charles Rifkin came out and said, though, when they were just talking about different reports and how the film industry has been greatly, greatly affected by COVID-19, obviously, but they've also been affected by quote unquote improved torrent technology. ITT, if you will. A report by the Wall Street Journal kind of jumped the gun on it and said that movies like The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Suicide Squad, and Black Widow, and the previous two are Warner movies. The latter one is Disney, that they became the most pirated films online shortly after their day and date release. Now, who could have expected such a thing, except for everyone, including myself? And I seldom get things right over here. Who could have expected this? The main reason for this, and I don't know if I need to go into this and explain it like it's revelatory or something, but the main reason for this is considerate. Further down in the Wrap article, which is a pretty good read, it's not as comprehensive as the Wall Street Journal, but in the Wrap article, they talk about, though, how movies like F9 and A Quiet Place Part 2 were not victim to piracy. Because here's the thing. When a movie goes to a streaming service, it's essentially a downloadable video. That's all it is. It's essentially an MP4. Now, Netflix and HBO Max and the bulk of streaming services have incredible technology that prevents you from conventionally downloading it like a YouTube video. But here's the thing. If it's a moving visual online, if it's online, period, there are ways to download it. There are ways to rip it even. And it's much easier. And notwithstanding, too, there's no more of the camcorder crap when it's in theaters. When it's in theaters, it takes a little bit of time for a movie to get on piracy websites or torrents because of the fact that you want a clean rip, I guess you could say. You want something with better picture quality. You don't want the jackass behind you filming it while balancing a big gulp and a large popcorn on his lap whilst filming the Suicide Squad. Where if the movie is released on streaming services, it becomes that much easier to pirate. And this isn't new. Breaking news: movie piracy isn't a thing, but when they were looking towards a release group, when they were releasing a statement against a release group called NTG Release Group, they said that NTG, an illegal piracy site, since 2018, they've been ripping 4,600 releases in the last year alone. So these are movies that are released, legally and then made available illegally through multiple torrent websites and piracy websites. If you know, you know. I don't think they're worth mentioning. If you know, you know. But yeah, so this is always an ongoing problem with theaters and whatnot. I've seen some commentary being like, they just want, like, the motion picture heads, the studio heads, they just want to get you back in the theaters. So that's why they're saying this. And that's why people are downloading, because they don't feel safe to go to a movie or whatever. People were doing this long before COVID was even a thing. It's just become way easier right now. And the end all be all point, before I'll toss it over to you, Joe, the end all be all point over here when it comes to movie piracy is that it's made extremely easy when you have these direct to streaming releases. And this is going to be something the film industry is going to grapple with, and why it still gives me hope for theaters in the long run, because the business model is still heavily predicated on the brick and mortar establishment that is the movie theater, that doesn't elicit piracy in the same way that a conventional streaming release does. But this was only a matter of time to happen. It's just finally now Rivkin, the CEO of the MPA, is coming out and saying what a drastic effect it has had on movies released since COVID-19 hit.
I just gotta say, we should probably bring back that advertisement or that PSA that says you wouldn't steal a movie or you wouldn't steal a house, so why would you download a movie to really stop this?
I would
this
absolutely download a car. Go to hell.
You
If
wouldn't.
I had the chance, I would download a car.
You know those things though. Those like they usually play like in the theater, but they also played on DVDs. And I hated the hell when they played on DVDs. When it was like you wouldn't steal a car, so why would you steal a movie? Jagoff, I just bought the DVD.
Yeah.
Why am I being punished? Why don't you put this on the torrent
I used to get so annoyed of it that like I taught myself as a kid, it's like I could skip all that BS if I just go to scene selection and choose scene 1. And then like that way the movie just starts and I don't have to deal with the trailers you get on the DVD and then, of course all the piracy, FBI warnings and everything.
Hitting menu in vain just hoping it appears.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, you're right on the money. I'm not going to go on too long with this either because it's like, yeah, this has been something that's been going on since like the early 2000s. I mean, I was literally referencing the PSAs that we got when like Blockbuster and everything existed and people used to literally just like, I don't know, not download, but like record through VHS another VHS being played and like kind of sell it back or, you know, just have it now as a free movie. Like they just rented it through Blockbuster for this. Now they get to keep it. So this has always been something. It's just now it's gotten even easier through the digital age, like everything else has when it comes to pirating, video games, music, and now movies. So this doesn't surprise me at all. And you know, if there was a year to, you know, not care about it so much, it is the year of 2020. And you know, I guess 2021. Like while still everything is reopening, it, you know, we're kind of going a bit backwards now. So them doing this and them coming out about this, it's nothing new, and I understand why they brought it up. Though I'm not discouraging it. Do I think you should pirate these movies? No, I think you should give a fair, like, you know, the fair dollar to, like, you know, the creators of the movie, the people who put their time and effort into it. But whenever you want to give it, whether it be when it comes out on DVD for $5, or if you want to go see it in theaters for $10. Or if you want to pay a subscription service to see it, like whatever it is, I just feel like that's, you know, the proper way to see something. I believe it or not, I've never pirated anything in my life. Is it because those PSAs work?
Of course, you're not going to admit that.
Well, yeah,
on air.
I know, but like I actually never have. And like the one time I'll say this, the one time I attempted to do this, I got a virus on my computer, and I said, well, I'm never doing this shit again. Because I wanted to go see, like, I forgot what movie it was, but it was rated R and I couldn't go see it in theaters. To me, it's
what you friggin' deserve.
It might have been one of the Paranormal Activity movies, because I know it was a horror film.
It was Coyote Ugly. Let's not lie.
It was Showgirls.
It was Showgirls. It happened earlier in 2020. I didn't want to pay the HBO subscription just yet. Yeah, and it has this taken a toll on the box office, as like some people have been saying? Yes and no. There's way bigger factors, I think, that are taking a toll on the box office. Because to me, it's like piracy has been around for so long. Movies like The Avengers, Star Wars, you know, like stuff like that. Yeah, people are going to pirate it, but like so many families are going to go see that in theaters. That's why it's rated PG-13. Let me tell you something. It's way harder to find a pirated A24 movie than a Disney movie, okay? Try to find
exactly right.
Try to go find The Green Knight on pirate websites. It's impossible. You can find Black Widow like that, Suicide Squad, all that shit. But go find The Green Knight, Uncut Gems, any of that when it was like running in theaters or whatever. It's a lot harder to find because the demand is not as big compared to, you know, those movies. So, yeah, Dom, I'll pass it over to you, man.
All I'm thinking about is that Jamie Foxx's character in Horrible Bosses. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but the whole point is that the main characters, they, for whatever reason, I can explain the plot, but they need to go see a criminal because they need to like fight, because they're just regular dudes who've never committed really any kind of crime. So go visit Jamie Foxx's character, like, oh yeah, he's been to jail. He knows what's up. So then they get like advice on how to be criminals. And then later on in the movie, slight spoiler for Horrible Bosses, but I finds out that, yeah, he spent 15 years in prison for filming a movie in the theater. And then they find out, like, what? This was what you went to jail for? And the Jamie Foxx character goes, they take that shit so seriously, man. And like, there's no exchange. It's just like kind of an aside. And I just love that clip. Take that shit so seriously. 15 years of my life. But yeah, I don't really know what else you can say about this. I don't know if we want to make, Steve, I don't know if you had any predictions as well, but like, this is, other than, you know, the successful one you made with this whole story, but honestly, it's like, I don't care. I think the studios are going to be fine. The only thing I care about is the ripple effect going downwards. If it, you know, the movie stars and and particularly the ones who are not A-listers and the directors and the more indie people. Look, hey, yo, I'm not going to say pirate things, but like, maybe consider what you're pirating, as Joe mentioned earlier. Like, if you pirate Black Widow, I'm not saying you should, but I'm like,
it ain't gonna hurt
sure. I'm not supporting it, but like, it's Disney.
It's a good point.
But like, you know, an indie, like, like a $50,000 budgets, and like everyone's like camping out there. It's like, don't do that. Or like YouTube
Pig.
Creators. Yeah.
Like the Nick Cage movie.
Hell, even,
yeah, sure.
Even the movie we're going to be reviewing today. I mean, it's a $25 million budget movie. It's, you know, it's not that big and everything. And it's like, to me, like, this is something worth going to like actually pay money and see it in theater rather than pirate it. I understand like any big franchise stuff. Yeah, I get that more than this.
Yeah,
we are on record saying we do not support pirating in any way.
That
shape,
too.
or form.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. No, but it's absolutely the case too, and that's the thing when it comes down to it, is that like people always want to make the argument too that like, you know what I mean, the movies are going to make millions, untold millions and billions of dollars anyway, the blockbusters at least. You know, why does piracy matter? They're doing this in spite of piracy. And I kind of piggyback off of what Dom said though. I think where piracy hurts the most is not so much the Black Widow, the F9. It's when you pirate movies like The Green Knight, when you pirate movies like Pig. Now, I'm not saying that Nick Cage and Dev Patel are going to be eating ramen noodles in 6 months. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But I will say, you know who that harms, I think, significantly? And I've actually read stories about it that say, you know, when movies bomb and whatnot. But that harms the cinematographer on an A24 movie. That harms... And systemically speaking, it harms original movies from being released because studios will gravitate towards the blockbusters because it's a guaranteed bankroll. That's why we're getting Top Gun Maverick now, not till Memorial Day. I don't know if you guys saw that today.
Oh, man. Seriously?
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick ain't coming out till Memorial Day. Thanks, pirates. Anyway.
Support our troops. Don't pirate.
Oof.